What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're all doing well today. I'm excited to bring you my full review of the Miguron Velona. Let's go ahead and jump into it. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to do specs. We'll do some size comparisons for our frame of reference on this knife, and then we'll jump into my thoughts and impressions. So the Velona has a 3.75 inch 14C 28N blade, 4.65 inch handles. Mine has the OD green G10 scales. Overall length 8.4 inches. And I could not find a weight on the Velona anywhere, so let's go ahead and check it out real quick. If I had to guess, I would say this is definitely over 4 ounces. Yeah, I probably would have been right saying over 5 ounces. It definitely feels like a heavier guy. All right, let's go ahead and move the scale out of the way and jump into some size comparisons real quick so you can get an idea just what 8.4 inches looks like compared to some other knives. First up, we're going to bring the Demco AD 20.5 out here for a medium-sized EDC, one that I like that is a friendly carry size. And we'll go ahead and bring out the Shaman for a full-size reference. So as you can see, the Velona is definitely a full-size knife, especially because I consider the Shaman a full-size knife. We'll go ahead and bring the Benchmade bug out here as well. And we'll bring out the SIG K320 made by Hogue. And as you can see, just larger overall, just a couple reference knives for you to check out. No surprises, I think, to anyone out there that is familiar with these knives. Again, 8.4 inches, nice long knife. Here is the Elementum 2 button lock for my budget friends out there, and the Civivi Praxis. There you go. We'll do some thickness profile comparisons really quick against some of these larger knives that came out here today. First, we're going to do it against the Praxis. As you can see, just a little bit more thickness there on the Velona. No surprise because it is a larger knife. It is steel liners riding, or G10 riding on steel liners. Really close to the size of the Hogue, and then probably going to be really close to, nope, still thicker than the Shaman. Yep, there you go. Hopefully that helped you for frame of reference, and then how it's going to carry in the pocket and how it's going to feel in the hand. So let's go ahead and jump into the knife. I'm going to start with the Ergos. Really nice texturing here on the G10. Backspacer is smooth but has some jimping down here, and that comes in handy when you're disengaging and when you're deploying. It gives you a little bit of traction there to keep the knife from moving around, so I really appreciate that. It comes with a reversible milled titanium pocket clip, so it is right and left hand friendly. It has a nice little pivot collar here on the back and a very tasteful M for the Miguron logo here in the pivot. Really nice. It does have some weight relieving, as you can see down in there on the inside. Really good lock up here on this one, coming in, oh come on, focus for me, coming in at about 20%. And because of the way that they chamfered down and they added some milling right here as well as that knockdown, you have really good lock bar access regardless of how you like to disengage your lock. It works well with all those methods. The flipper tab also doubles as a finger guard, so if you are using this very pokey tip to get into some materials, which I really did test a lot. I had a new bike rack come in and I was putting it to the test, and it remained sharp and strong, and the edge held up pretty good because some of the cardboard, because it was a bike rack for the hitch on my Forester, it was really heavy, double walled in some spots to protect the cargo, so it was really getting put to the test on that day. It has definitely got bearings in the pivot. I believe I saw that they were ceramic bearings, but tune in for the disassembly for the verification on that, because I definitely want to disassemble this and clean it all up after everything that I've put the knife through. But action, really good. Fires out, detent feels really good. Really snappy on the flipper, and on the reverse flick, if you really try your hardest to fail it, you can. get it to fail a little bit, but I think once we get in there and clean and lube it and it continues to break in, I think this is going to be really, really smooth, and it's going to have plenty of strength on that detent to make it feel snappy on the reverse flick. The fuller on here works really well. It doesn't look like it because of the coating, but it does have enough sharpness on there to really catch, and it is slightly raised on both sides so that you can catch it really nicely. Let me try to get the light here. There you go. You can catch it really nicely when you go to reverse flick it. I haven't tried to thumb flick it though. I bet you could. Oh yeah, no issues whatsoever. I actually can't believe I haven't tried to thumb flick it one time. The entire time I've had this knife and have been testing and using it. That's too funny. But the blade works really well. Because it is such a big blade, you have a lot of area here that you're able to cut through the material without sliding out. Now, I do admit because the box was really long, when I was getting towards the end there, you can see some of the cuts going sideways, because when I was getting to the end of the cut, like as I was cutting away, I started to slip out a little bit because it was beyond the reach of my arm, so I was trying to extend it out as far as I could, and I was poking into the middle of that long box and working my way out from either side. So I was going left and right from the center, just because I was by myself and I was trying to break it down quickly because I had other things to get to that particular day. I don't really like black wash blades, but I think this was either on sale or it was the last one at White Mountain Knives, and I think I used my discount code. I think that's what it was. I think this was the last colorway that they had, I believe, and I used my discount code to get that, I think. But I don't normally go for the black wash blades because you lose a degree of Rockwell hardness. So if it's normally 59 to 61, you're getting a 58 to 60 knife. I think Miguron has advertised that they're actually doing 57 to 59 on their coated blades, so really low for 14C28N. I wouldn't want to see anything below 59 on 14C28N, but having said that, it is very tough. The edge never chipped, and after I broke down a ton of boxes, all it really needed was a honing and stropping to sharpen back up. I would probably, in my instance, just take this blade and go ahead and stonewash it, just because if it's already going to look faded and worn out like that, I think the stonewash would hide it better and looks cooler to me because it's a broken in look. But I also would allow me to go ahead and just lay this angle of the edge back to probably 18 degrees. It still feels very sticky after honing and stropping, and I haven't tested it since honing and stropping it. Oh, this paper feels damp, but let's just take a look and see. Yeah, so it probably has a couple of spots that it's hung up on, so I probably just need to hone it up a little bit more, and or strop it up a little bit more, and it'll probably be fine. But yeah, definitely could use some love. And like I said, that box that I was cutting with, double walled in some instances, so no surprises there that it probably needs a little bit of love. So maybe what I'll do, since it needs it, is I'll go ahead and do the stone wash after I do the disassembly video, or maybe while I'm doing the disassembly video, I'll pause and then show you the stone washing before and after. That way you can kind of see what it looks like. And then what I'll do is throw it on the KME, throw a little quick 18 degree per side. With it being a lower heat treat, shouldn't be hard to do on this one. It should be good to go, but it's performed really well and I'm very happy. And if I were to go to take this to some cardboard, even though it was snagging up on the paper, it still feels sticky enough to where I think this would definitely continue to work well on the cardboard. But $50, really hard to make alternative recommendations. I would say if you want something smaller, I think that the Civivi Sokoke is going to have a slightly slicier blade. It's going to have micarta instead of G10, but I think they also make it a G10 variant, I think. No, I think these are all micarta. And this one comes stone washed from the factory, and this one is also, where's that blade steel? Isn't it on this knife? Hold on. Man, you can't even see it. It's right here, and I'll try to zoom in. But this one also coming in 14C28N. Damn, I wish I could see it. I want to say that's 14C28N. I'll try to zoom in, but it's 65 instead of 50. So a little bit more money for the Sakoke, but maybe a little bit more friendly in size for EDC, I would say. If not, if you don't really care too much about the blade steel, you can get for $50 the Praxis, which I think ergonomically has a slight advantage, and it is a more slicey blade. The geometry on the Velona is a little bit more thicker, but it is definitely a much bigger knife. But that would be all I would make for alternative recommendations in the budget realm. I really don't think from a larger size there's going to be too much that I would throw out there that's going to be, you know, even close to a comparison. You'd be spending, you know, 4 times the money for something that's more premium in that size with the steel. You could look at the Devo Mash. I mean, that one coming in at around $136. So, you know, 3 times as much. Or you could look at, for $200, you could look at something like the Tau from Kungwu. You know, you're going to get, instead of 14C28N, you're going to get M390. You'll get titanium frame lock, and you're getting it for around $200. But it's still going to be a smaller knife, but you know, and I think the blade shape actually a little bit better here because it drops down at the tip. It's going to be a little bit better for the utility work. So anyway, I really enjoyed this knife. Very easy to recommend. Miguron's quality is better than Kaiser. It's on par, if not better, than what I'm finding from Civivi. I think it's a little bit better than Kubi. The reason I put it above Kubi and Kaiser is because they have knives that sound cheap, that have like a hollow sound on the deployment and the close. They also have ones that are very good. I'm not picking on them in particular, but I would definitely say this feels like a $75, $80 knife, and you're getting it for $50. Super impressive. That's my review. Easy to make this recommendation. I really enjoyed using it, especially for those prolonged tasks. It was very comfortable and it was very impressive. I would just like to see, and the heat treat might be better on the non-coated variants, and in that instance I would steer you towards that. But if you're not breaking down double wall boxes regularly for packages, this is going to be just fine for EDC, and it's a cool knife. That's it. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to leave a like. Thanks to everyone out there that does like the videos, comments, and is subscribed. I appreciate all the support. I love you guys. I hope you all have a fantastic week. Until next time, peace.